Hey everyone, it's Kariana, the one, the only, your favorite witchy coach. Today, I am going to be talking about another subscriber's request video. It's going to be about manifesting in steps from no contact to being in a relationship. So I'll focus on that, but basically the topic can apply to anything, that you're trying to manifest. So you know what I'm going to say before I get started. All of my information for one-on-one coaching will be down in the description box below, along with any cool stuff that we might be giving away. So you guys check that out, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's how I get the word out. That's why I'm on this platform, guys, is to bring education about LOA. Okay. So it's just a little bit clearer for you guys to, for this to all click and for you guys to step into your power. Okay. So, you as subscribers have brought to my team's attention this topic along with a couple other ones. And just because I haven't been able to talk about everything in every single video, because it just gets too long and too complicated. But I try my hardest. Does not mean that I haven't forgot about you guys. I'm going to try to sprinkle, as many things as I can for you guys, just so you're not waiting around for these topics to be discussed for a while, weeks or so. So happy St. Patrick's Day to whoever celebrates. My birthday is in a few days. And I think by the time this airs, my birthday will be the next day, because my birthday is Wednesday. So happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. And I just want to tell you guys that having another birthday, I just feel so grateful. Like, I was reflecting on it today and knew that I was going to film, and how I wanted to bring up to you guys how grateful I am to be able to bring these topics to you guys and to be on this platform. Honestly, it's like I'm celebrating my birthday because I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything in my life. I could tell you, I would have to count what age I am, to be honest with you, because I'm always affirming that I'm timeless and I only age in reverse. And so, yeah, I've had to literally stop and be like, wait, what age am I going to be? Because it doesn't really matter to me. But I am celebrating because I'm grateful. I'm grateful for a lot of things in my life. So anybody that has a birthday on my day or on today, or the whole month of March, right? Happy birthday, you guys. You guys are amazing. And I'm super proud of you guys just for showing up and watching this video and trying to learn more about your power and stepping in that and getting control of your world, your reality, right? All right. So manifesting in steps. So I've talked about this topic before. I think the subscriber probably just didn't catch my particular video about it. But I'm going to bring it up again. Right. And, because sometimes we need to be reminded, we need to be refreshed in these subjects. But, I'm a coach that believes in manifesting in steps, for a couple different reasons, right? Most people that come to me that are trying to manifest, pretty much anything in their life, but if they're trying to manifest SP and you have a history with SP and you're having a hard time, and even if you don't, if you just had a history around, relationships that fell for you, right? And you've been dragging around that baggage, as I like to call it, with you, and kind of just slapping that baggage, that label on anybody and everybody that you have a romantic relationship with, and it seems to follow you, and it seems to be a pattern or a cycle. For the sake of this video, I'll call it that. And you're having a hard time wrapping your mind around, can I talk today, that you're limitless, okay? And that you're the only cause. And your thoughts are haunting you a lot. The past, right? Conversations that you've had with different people, the things you've said, the things they've said, how things ended, how, anything that you're having problems with, flipping and really not entertaining. Manifesting in steps really helps you gain back that control, gain back your power, stepping into your power. The reason why I think that is because, sometimes it's really, really difficult. It can seem very difficult when you have this running assumptions, running story that's now hardened in the fact that you've been experiencing in your reality. You keep calling this thing in, right? I've used a bunch of analogies for that. Waking up in the same day, like Groundhog Day, right? Being in a hamster wheel, being in a buffering mode. I've used a lot of analogies for that. But just basically what I mean is that you're waking up and it's seemingly like the same day over and over again, or the same situation over and over again. You found this new, great, wonderful partner, and they're showing up for you in this fantastic way. And then boom, right? Fears set in. You start remembering the conversation that you had with the last SP, and how they told you, They don't want to ever be with you. They're never going to commit because they just don't see a future. They want nothing to do with you, whatever. Okay. And now, you drop that. Maybe you decided not to manifest back that person, or maybe that was years ago, and now you're manifesting a new person. This person shows up great. You've, allowed, right? We've called this person into our world or reality. And they're showing up great. And then boom, like I said, then the fears kick in, and it seems like the same pattern and cycle. And then things go to crap, right? I like to call it like a dumpster fire. It's like everything just kind of blows up, and it can be at once. It could be a trickle effect. It doesn't matter, right? And it doesn't really even matter how you got there. I mean, it doesn't, right? The only thing that we need to be doing is tackling the story that you have around relationships, or the story that you have around this person, the story that you have around how people view you in romantic relationships, the story that you have around yourself, how you feel like you show up in romantic relationships, right? Because, this isn't always about the other person, guys, I mean, it's really all about us. It starts and ends with us. And I've said that so many times on this channel, I can't even count, but it starts and ends with you. You're the one with all the power. You're the one that's creating the world around you, And I've said this a million times before too, that's why we've got to start thinking bigger. We've got to start thinking limitless. We got to start thinking that we can experience anything and everything, right? Just like I've said, guys, you can bring anything and anybody back better than ever, or you can create anything or anybody better than you could ever imagine, right? So you need to know that you can experience anything and everything in your reality. You absolutely can. Okay. And so with that being said, if that is a bit of a challenge for you to wrap your head around at first, maybe you're new to LOA, or maybe you've, gone out and learned about LOA in the LOA community, and you've watched a lot of videos, or you talked to a lot of people, or maybe you've even had coaching out there. I don't know, but you seem to be more confused than clear. Okay. Because there's a lot of contradicting things out there. There's a lot of trendy things going on in the LOA community, which you guys know I'm not a coach that's about that. And I've said that many times. I'm going to say it again, and I stand behind it. Everything that I believe in is never going to change. I don't care the trends. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what people are saying. I'm going to say what I believe, and I'm going to stick, by that. I'm going to stand by my word, because I've seen it work in my life, in my friends' lives that I've coached, in my clients' lives. I know that these things work. I just know. And I like to bring a very simple approach to LOA. It doesn't have to be complicated. Why are we making manifesting or manifestation so complicated and so hard? It just does not need to be that hard, guys. It doesn't, right? So manifesting in steps kind of brings a ease to this. It brings a simplicity to manifesting, right? When we manifest in steps, okay, it's a little bit more of gaining like I said, kind of taking back your control and taking back your power, instead of being overwhelmed with this whole, like everybody in the LOA community talks about, living in the end, living in the end, living in your end, living in your end, right? We always talk about that. Well, guess what? You can still live in the end and manifest in steps. Okay. What we're doing is we're living in our end of what we want to experience right then and there. Right. So say, because a subscriber asked for me to talk about no contact being in a relationship. Well, several people that come to me, probably, I customize my coaching for everybody. So I can't say everybody that comes to me, this is the format I'm going to give them. But like I explained before, Okay. If any of those things that I've talked about before in the beginning of this video pertain to you, the manifesting in steps is the way to go, in my opinion. Okay. And it's just because it's less triggering, when you're manifesting in steps. Okay. You say that, like I said, this person came in, they're showing up as, just the best version of themselves. And then for whatever reason, right, fears, doubts, the old story comes back. Whether you're manifesting this person back in, whether they're a new person, and your old story about your old running assumptions and story around relationships. Doesn't matter. Okay. But it just kind of, it's a trickle effect, right? Things start to spiral. And then you end up in, like I said, this kind of like dumpster fire situation. And you guys are in no contact now. Things have blown up clearly if you're in no contact. Okay. And it doesn't matter what that person's doing. Who cares, right? You've called them in your reality. Who cares what they're thinking? Who cares what they're doing? Because guess what, you guys? What they're thinking is what you say that they're thinking. What you're saying that they're doing while you're in no contact is what they're doing. Okay. So let's, like I always say, guys, let's make the story work for you. Let's always make the story work for you. Okay. And so while, you're in no contact with this person, okay, and say that people come to me in session, or, you're just watching this on your own and coaching yourself, that's fine. Like I said, that's a choice. You don't have to get coaching. But what you're going to do is you're going to, what I'm going to say, because I say this all the time, because this is very, very important, right? Get clear on what you want to experience. Choose what you want to experience. Because like I've said, I use the analogy of the vending machine, right? So we're choosing the reality that we're going to pull in, that we're going to call in, because it's all happening around us. It's creation is finished, right? So it's already happening, or you wouldn't desire it. So now that you've gotten clear on what you want to experience, you've chosen the reality that you want to experience next, right? We're going to focus on that, right? And so we're going to decide, okay, that's our only option. We're going to experience that. We're going to call that in. We're going to allow that in, right? So we're giving our subconscious the gift, or sorry, the job, excuse me, guys, the task of calling this in. And so, we're going to focus on that, right? And like I said, if your end is that you want to be, because my clients will come to me, right? And they'll say, Kariana, we're in no contact, right? But my end game is that I want to be engaged to this person. I want to marry this person, because when I met them, I knew that this was my person. And I'm like, great, perfect. That's wonderful. But we're in no contact now, and I can't wrap my head around this. I don't, I put them on the pedestal. They just seem so unattainable. I'm questioning my power. I'm questioning this process. Okay. And all I want is just contact right now, and I'm like, yeah, that's what we should be aiming for, is the fact that, you can, like I said, you can still want marriage with this person. You can still want to move in with this person. You can still want to have kids with this person. You can still want to be engaged to this person, but you're in no contact right now. And you're struggling with taking your focus off that and really just living in your mind, right? As the creator, knowing you're limitless, knowing that you're the only cause. You're having trouble with not entertaining these old thoughts, these old assumptions, and your mind keeps going back to that. Like I say, it just tries to drag you back into the dark side, right? Throws a little tantrum, and it keeps on reminding you of that, of what's happened, conversations and actions that you've taken, that your other SPs have taken, that this SP has taken. Okay. And so in those moments, right, when I obviously will ask you, what do you want? And it's like, I want this, this, and this, and this. And I go, okay, let's start here. The one thing is, I've talked about this, before, really, really recently too, as well, is that I really just want you guys to be realizing your power. Okay. And stepping in creator mindset, and really realizing that nothing really matters, because it's all within you. Everything that you're experiencing out here is an illusion. It's all, dead fake news. And it's just a lesson on the chalkboard of what we need to be taking our attention off of, the unfavorable, and what we need to be putting our attention on, the favorable. Okay. And knowing that we can do that, knowing that we can experience anything that we want, we can be, do, and have anything we want, right? Said this all before, guys. So yeah, so then when my clients say, you know, I want this is my end, but we're in no contact, you know, and I'm struggling with this. And that's where I start with you guys. You know, I love manifesting in steps, you know, because it helps my clients get a handle on things, right? And it helps them really put themselves first, be present, right? Step in their power and, you know, concentrate on the story of, you know, what we want to experience next, right? So what is the new story we're going to live in? Okay. Well, if we're in no contact, then our new story is that we're going to live from a reality, right? The reality that our SP is coming in with. I always say, remember that they're looking for our instruction, right? They're always looking for our instruction because guess what? You've given your SP the gift of creation. You've called them and you've made them matter in your, like I always like to say, in your movie, right? They're just a character in your movie. You've called them in and you say, hey, look, you matter. You have a position now here in my movie. You're an actor in my movie. Okay. And this is my simulation. This is my reality. This is my little video game, my little movie that we're starring in. Okay. And so you call this person in and now they're waiting for your instruction because they're you pushed out. They're your creation. Okay. And like I said, thought transmission is always happening, guys. So let's give them instructions and let's back it up with some action here, right? Let's get very specific and very literal on what we want to experience from them. So I always say that if you are, it doesn't matter how you're going to do this, right? Your mental diet is your affirmations and your intentions. Like I've said before, guys, you can never stop affirming because you can't stop thinking. Your mind doesn't even go to sleep, or your subconscious doesn't even go to sleep with you, right? It's always up problem solving. So let's get literal, right? Back it up with action, right? And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're gonna, you know, have a short list of affirmations that you're gonna use because you like to robotically affirm and that calms you down. Perfect. If you're gonna just live from the reality, right? Your mental diet of what you want to experience next, what you want to call in next, you know, that's beautiful, right? There's no right or wrong answer. Okay. If you're gonna script your story, you're going to script from a place of I am experiencing my new story, right? However you're going to do this, okay? Let's just make sure that we're giving our SP, right? Because we're talking about SP right now, our SP specific and literal instructions. Let's bring action into this, guys. So I like to use words like initiate, right? So your SP is always is another great revision statement, right? It is dealing with the past. It is dealing with the now. Revision always is a revision statement. And we all know about revising. I've talked about it before, right? Not going to get into it right now. So always is great, right? So my SP is always initiating, and you want it to be consistent communication, right? Contact. You want it to be positive, or you can say my SP is always initiating consistent and positive communication. I always hear what I want to hear from my SP. Okay. Because you want to hear what you want to hear from your SP. Your SP is always initiating quality time, quality dates, romantic time, intimacy, right? That your SP is always open and ready to communicate with you. That your SP is excited, right? That they get to communicate with you. They're excited about that, right? That your SP has done the work, okay? They've cleared their blocks, resistance, just to be by your side, okay? That they're initiating communication, conversations about this, okay? That your SP makes you feel like you are their number one priority, that they put you above anyone and everything, okay? So using, you know, statements like that, thoughts like that, affirmations, intentions, guys, it's all the same thing. is really being specific and literal about what you want to experience, right? Giving them instruction. Okay. And if that's what we want to experience right now in this moment, right? Because we want to bring back the communication, right? We want to call our SP back in and we want to have that consistent positive communication. Okay. And let's work on that. And then we want some consistent positive communication, and we want to see our SP. We want them to initiate quality time with us. We want them to be right by our side. We want them to be excited about our future, right? We want them to tell us that they want to commit to this, that they're willing to put the effort in and do what it takes to be with you, right? That they're telling you that they've leveled up, right? Like I said, they've cleared their resistance and their blocks and all of the unfavorable things to be with you, to rise above, to be right next to you on your pedestal, right? You're on your pedestal, they're right next to you. They've leveled up, right? So that's what I like to do. And then when we get that, when we get that movement, right? When we call that in, when we start experiencing that, and that becomes our consistent reality. So that obviously starts hardening the facts, because like I've said before, we call these things in very quickly at times, right? A lot of times. And it's before it's hardened in the facts. And that's another thing I wanted to touch on, guys, is that we have to remember, I see a lot of this out in, our community through friends that I've coached, through clients. I've had people mention this to me. Whenever we call these things in, right, we get our SP, we get the communication, we start rolling with this. And then we're like, wow, this gives us the push, okay, to really believe in ourselves. This gives us a push to keep going. This gives us a push, that, mind blown moment that you are powerful and that you can experience anything and everything in your reality, right? So when we get that, that's not the time to stop, guys. It's not the time to slow down. That's not the time to set things down. Yes, do I want you to be present and enjoy what you've called in, enjoy your manifestation? Absolutely. Enjoy your new reality. Of course I do. But that's when I want you to go really hard on these things, so you can harden this in fact. So this just becomes, the normal thing that you're going to experience. It just becomes your new reality, right? And that takes diligence, that takes discipline. And I say at first, guys, this is about repetition. This is about really showing up for yourself and being diligent, being strict on yourself, being disciplined, so you can experience that reality that you desire. Okay. And then we can move from there. I always tell my clients too, you have to remember that, when you're having this person showing up in when you have that happen, right? Because I know it's going to. It's my intentions for you guys. That's why I have so many success stories. That's why my clients are coming back to me in like days, overnight, telling me that this and this happened after being in no contact, right? In fact, I have a real quick success story today. I actually have a few, I think I have two pertaining to this actual subject about like SP and no contact and then getting into contact, but I'm going to read one of them today for sure. But yeah, so, once you guys, call this in, right, and you're experiencing this, right, then I tell my clients, right, we'll go to the next step. And I want you to remember, right, is that you guys can still think about marriage. You can still think about your end, right? You can still think about being engaged to that person. You can still think about having their child, or we're moving in together and it's great, it's wonderful. Of course, because think about it. If you're thinking as if, which I've talked about this before, I want you to think as if. I want you to live inside your mind of already experiencing this, or that it's happening right now, right? My SP is coming in right now. I know it's going to happen. Without a doubt, I know that I'm going to experience this, okay? Or that you already are. It's already happened. Either one, right? It pertains to the same. It's the same in for you. But if you're thinking as if, okay, and you're really immersing yourself, becoming that person, embodying that person, then you are going to be thinking about marriage with this person. You're going to be thinking about moving in with this person. That's natural. You're going to be thinking about, if you want to have kids, having a kid with this person, what your wedding would be like, what your dress would look like, what your ring would look like. Abso-freaking-lutely. Just like I talked about in my last video about marriage proposal, right? becoming the person with the ring on your finger, right? Becoming that person. Okay. And just thinking as that person, not the person that's limited. Sorry, guys, to this, right? The person that's limitless, the person that's experiencing this, because that's your truth. Everything else, like the subconscious trying to drag you back into the old story, or telling you that you can't have this, or, because you guys have broken up before, or your SP has said that they don't want anything to do with you, or anything like that, right? You guys can't buy into that, right? Brain just doesn't want to change, right? But it must follow you, because you're in control of it. It's your reality. Don't let it fool you, okay, into thinking that it's the other way around, because it's not. Okay. And it will follow you. Trust me, it will. Okay. And so, thinking as if, right, living as if I'm experiencing this. Of course you are going to naturally be visualizing those things, and that's fine. You can still do that. Okay. But you can, but you can still manifest in steps and live from the end that you want to experience right then. Okay. We're living from that end. Okay. So if contact is what you want to start with, that's your end for right now. Okay. And when we get that, we call that in, and then we can move in steps. We can move to the next step. All right. So yeah, somebody had, before I read the success story, because I don't want this video to be super long tonight. But I had another subscriber, my team brought it to my attention, that they were mentioning that they wanted me to give them like one affirmation that they can use if, their SP is saying that they don't want anything to do with them and they want them to move on and find somebody else. Okay. I've kind of touched, I've kind of, told you guys some affirmations that kind of just work in general. I literally just kind of gave you guys some examples, but I don't really know your whole story. I don't know what you're telling yourself about this SP and why they have pushed out like this in your reality, right? Like, what is the real, like I've said before, what is the real story, right? Getting to the root of that story. So really, really sitting there and observing your thoughts, right? Because like I've said before, guys, I just want you to, acknowledge and observe what comes up for you. Don't identify with it. Don't accept it, right? We're not resisting it, okay? Because what you resist persists. So if you try to stuff things down, you try to dumb it down, fear it, run away from it, stuff it in a closet, as I like to say. I've said this several times, guys, whatever you fear has control over you. Okay. And so whenever these things come up, okay, these feelings, these thoughts, emotions, all of these things, okay, just acknowledging them, observing them, guys, and then letting it go. Don't become it, right? Don't identify with it. Don't immerse yourself in it. Don't go down the rabbit hole, as I like to say. Don't spiral with it, right? Because then it suddenly has the control. You've given away your control. You've given away your power. And that's not what I want you to do, right? I've said this, guys, before several times. I promote you guys having these feelings and emotions. If they come up, do not try to deny them, but also don't identify with them and don't accept them as your reality. Don't hang your hat on it, guys. Just observe, acknowledge, okay? Let it go. Let it go, okay? You can picture yourself burying it. You can picture yourself setting it on fire. You can picture yourself letting it go like a balloon in the air. Whatever you need to do to get a handle on it, but do not immerse yourself in it. Do not accept it as your reality. Okay. Like I said, do not let your subconscious drag you to the dark side. Okay. Do not allow your subconscious to trick you into thinking that it has the power, it has the control over you, because it doesn't. So with that being said, the person that had made this comment seemed like they needed to really step into their power, right? And get a hold over the story that they're telling themselves about their SP. Okay. So I don't really know the root of the story, but I will say that if your SP is, reflecting back to you that they want nothing to do with you and they want you to move on and be with somebody else because they don't really care, right? We want to be flipping that. Okay. And obviously we want to be saying that, your SP, my SP, can't live their life without me in it. Okay. And they back it up with action every single day, right? I experience my SP every single day telling me, that I am the only one for them, right? I experience my SP saying, right, that I am the perfect partner for them. Okay. See, feel, and hear, guys. See, feel, and hear. What do we want to see from SP? What do we want to feel from SP? What do we want to hear from SP? See, feel, and hear. Did I say that? Guys, I'm tired. That's why I cannot go very long with this video, but see, feel, and hear. So what do we want to see, feel, and hear from SP? Okay. And so that's what I want you to concentrate on when you're coming up with affirmations. So if your SP is reflecting back to you that they want nothing to do with you, well, what's the opposite of that? You're their whole entire world, right? So you hear SP say that to you. Just be literal and specific, guys. I always hear SP say that I'm their whole entire world. I always hear SP say to me that I am their one and only. I always hear SP say to me, they put me above anyone and everything. I always hear SP say to me, they want me right by their side. Okay. That they want me to move on with somebody else? Absolutely not. They don't. Right. That I feel from SP that we are, meant to be together. My SP makes me feel every single day that I'm unconditionally loved by them. Okay. That I see my SP show up and show me and tell me that I'm the only one for them. Right. Or I hear SP say that they never want to lose me. Okay. I hear SP say to me that they never want to lose me. They never want to lose me. And guys, no shade to the LOA community, but I've heard, people say, oh, don't use never, don't this, that. I don't believe in it. I just don't. To me, it doesn't matter. Okay. Your mind has been thinking with those words for however long you've been alive. Okay. Since you learned those words. So you manifest it with them. You can manifest again with them. Okay. So I know that if you guys ask me about that, if for some reason you guys comment or, bring it to my team's attention, I'm going to say that it doesn't matter. Okay. So, and if you have a problem with that, right, then tweak your affirmation, right? If you don't want to use words like never, then tweak your affirmation. I hear SP say to me, they always want me in their life. Okay. That they want me in their life every single day. They want to wake up to me every single day. They always want me right by their side. Use an affirmation like that then, if that bothers you. Okay. So guys, I think I've covered everything except for my success story. This is going to be really quick. But basically in a nutshell, right? I was working with this client of mine. We had a session, and then I believe that like 13 days later, SP came back. They were in no contact. And my client was, she was really upset about it. She felt like she had lost control over the situation because her fears set in, and she reacted, in an unfavorable manner, and her and SP, everything blew up. Like I said, that dumpster fire that I refer to, right? And they ended up in no contact, and she came to me for coaching, and she got her SP back within, I think it was like 12 or 13 days or something like that. And they, spent some time together, around special days and occasions. They went out to dinner and those kind of things. And, she really, I had to work with her stepping into her power and really just taking her attention off the old story and realizing that it's really just something that she called in, and now it was time to let it go and release it and realize that it was just a lesson for her, right? Not feeding into it, but knowing that now it's just old, dead, fake news, right? It's all an illusion, guys. Okay. An illusion that you've created. So, okay. So wait, hold on, guys. Let me just, why is it doing this? Okay, there we go. Okay, so she says, hi, Kariana. Thank you so much for today's session. She said, below is my success story. It says, I had my first session with Kariana. to get my SP back. Let's see. All right, guys, sorry, the light's better over here. My SP had broken up with me a few days before our session, telling me, quote unquote, I don't feel a long-term connection with you. I was desperate to get him back, and I ended up text bombing him, and he blocked me. So remember how I was saying that she reacted like, very unfavorable. I was so heartbroken, and I reached out to Kariana to get this turned around. During the session, Kariana introduced me to a couple of powerful affirmation words, like no matter what, always, there is no doubt. The things I've just talked about with you guys, right? Always is wonderful, wonderful revision statement, or wonderful revision word. So the same day I created my personal affirmations. Okay. And this is what she chose to do. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer on how you want to do this, guys. Okay. It's really just living from your mind. It's not about so much the action out here, guys. It's about what we're thinking, what we're concentrating on, what we're telling ourselves. It is the reality, right? And who we are becoming, immersing ourselves in the story, embodying this. Okay. So no right or wrong, and no right or wrong, but she decided to create some personal affirmations, right? So these were her personal affirmations, and you guys can take them and if they're helpful. So she said, so the same day I created my personal affirmations, no matter what, my SP and I are always connected. No matter what, my SP and I are inseparable. Okay. That would be another good one for the subscriber that reached out to my team about give me one affirmation. That'd be a wonderful one for you. Okay. No matter what, my SP is always thinking about me and missing me. Okay. Now, guys, with that one, I love, love, love. And I did have to tweak that for her, but remember, I want you guys to be backing this up with action. Okay. So if we're saying that this person is thinking about me and missing us, or missing you, right? Then we want to make sure that we're backing that up with other, action affirmations, right? So no matter what, my SP and I are inseparable. No matter what, my SP is always thinking of me and missing me. There is no doubt in my mind, my SP is contacting me to get me back. Okay. So do you see how she backed that one up with action? There's no doubt in my mind. He's contacting me. He wants me back. Boom. Okay. I really felt powerful affirming these affirmations. And in just 13 days after our session, my SP texted me, and a week after that, he asked me out for lunch. We had a great time catching up with each other over lunch. After lunch, he asked me if I had any plans for the evening, and I told him no. We took an Uber downtown to have some drinks. During the ride, he asked if he could hold my hand, ... And from there on, we were back in the relationship. Thank you so much, Kariana. You are the best. Okay. So guys, like I said, it's a simple, success story, but it pertains a lot to what we're talking about today. Okay. And also because you guys have asked me about affirmations a lot lately. So those are wonderful affirmations that we put together for her. And I love the fact that, she decided to go that route. That's fine. And they're wonderful. They were absolutely powerful. She chose and decided they were going to work for her, and they absolutely did very quickly. Okay. And she backed it up with action, right? She said, there's no doubt I'm choosing, and this is what I want to experience. And I'm deciding that this is the only option. And that's exactly what she did. Okay. So example, guys, perfect example of how you can do this too. You're no different. You're no different. You're just as powerful. So I think that I went over everything that you guys were asking for. I know, and I intend that when it reaches you guys have, these mind-blowing moments, everything clicks, and you apply them. You apply all this information, all this education that I'm giving you guys, and you guys get exactly what you want. Okay. Because you're entitled to that, guys. You are entitled to getting exactly what you desire. All right. So take that with you guys, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care. All right, guys. Bye.